The story of the Jay people does not begin on the shores of the Atlantic. It begins much earlier, in whispers and stories passed down through generations. Our elders say we started our journey somewhere in the ancient lands between the great rivers, perhaps near what is now called the Middle East. Some point to ancient Israel, linking our customs to those of the tribes of Gad and Dan. This journey was not a single event, but a long, slow movement of people. They were searching for peace, for land, and for a place to call their own. It was a centuries-long trek across vast deserts and dense forests, a pilgrimage etched into our collective memory. These leaders were both spiritual guides and practical navigators, interpreting signs from the gods and the stars to find the safest paths. They traveled through Egypt, down the Nile, and into the lands of Ethiopia. From there, they journeyed westward, crossing the territories of what would become Sudan and Nigeria. In Nigeria, we settled for a time in places like Benin City and Il-If, where we interacted with powerful kingdoms. When our ancestors, the Gadangme people, first saw the coast of what is now Ghana, they saw a land of promise. The first group settled near the lagoons, like the Korle and Sakumo, which provided fish and salt, precious resources for life and trade. Early settlements were small clusters of huts, built from the red earth of the plains. Places like Ayawaso, high on the hills, became early strongholds, offering a good view of the surrounding land and sea. We met other people who were already living here, like the Guan and the Kpesi. Our arrival was mostly peaceful. We settled among them, learning from their knowledge of the local environment. The original Ga towns, including Ga Mashi, Osu, La, Teshi, Nungwa, and Tima, were established as the cornerstones of our new home. Our men became skilled fishermen, learning to read the currents and the stars to navigate their canoes. As our people settled, our culture began to blossom, deeply rooted in the memory of our past struggles. The most important expression of this is our festival, Homowo. The name itself, Homowo, means hooting at hunger. It commemorates a time of great famine that our ancestors endured long ago during their migration. The highlight of the festival is the preparation and sharing of a special meal called kpekpla, or kpokpoi. This food is made from fermented steamed cornmeal and is eaten with a delicious palm nut soup. The manse, or chief, is the first to taste the food. He then walks through the streets of the town, sprinkling kpepl for the ancestors and the gods. Our naming ceremonies for newborn babies, our puberty rites for young women called otofo, and our elaborate funeral customs all reflect our core values. Our traditional music, with its complex rhythms played on drums, bells, and rattles, tells the story of our journey and our life by the sea. Gay society was traditionally organized with a clear and effective structure. At the head of each town, or akwashong, was the manse, the chief. The basic unit was the extended family, or way, which included grandparents, parents, children, uncles, aunts, and cousins all living together in a compound. The men were primarily fishermen and farmers. They would rise before the sun to venture out onto the sea in their canoes. The women were the backbone of the Gay economy and family life. They were skilled entrepreneurs who controlled the local markets. The Gay people believed in a supreme god, Ata Na Nyonmo, who was the creator of all things. The Wulamo, or high priest, was the intermediary between the people and these gods, leading rituals and offering prayers for protection, health, and a good harvest. Our home on the coast meant we were often the first point of contact for people arriving by sea. In the late 15th century, a new type of stranger appeared on the horizon, the Europeans. First came the Portuguese, followed by the Dutch, the Danes, the Swedes, and finally, the British. We Gay people, being astute traders, saw an opportunity. We engaged in commerce with them, trading our goods for their guns, gunpowder, cloth, and alcohol. These interactions led to the construction of massive forts and castles along our coastline. The Portuguese built Osu Castle, the Dutch built Fort Usher, and the British built James Fort, all within the heart of our land in Accra. Living in the shadow of these structures created a complex relationship. They offered protection and economic opportunities, but were a constant reminder of foreign power on our soil. Our relationship with our African neighbors, particularly the powerful Akan states to our west and north, was just as complex. We had long-standing trade relationships with tribes like the Akwamu and the Akiem. The introduction of firearms by the Europeans dramatically changed the balance of power in the region. Control over trade with the forts meant access to guns, which gave a decisive military advantage. Our history is not only one of peaceful settlement and trade, it is also marked by fierce struggles to defend our land and our freedom. The most significant of these conflicts were the Gadangme Wars against the powerful Akwamu Kingdom in the late 17th century. The conflict came to a head in 1677, a year of great sorrow for the Gi people. The Akwamu army, led by their formidable king Ansa Sisraku, launched a full-scale invasion. Our brave king Okai Koi led the defense of our kingdom with great courage. He and his warriors fought valiantly, but they were outnumbered and outgunned. King Okai Koi, facing defeat and capture, chose to take his own life rather than suffer the humiliation of being taken prisoner by the Akwamu. The Akwamu occupied our lands for over 60 years, imposing their rule and exacting heavy tributes from our people. However, the spirit of the Ga people was not broken. Even under Akwamu domination, we maintained our cultural identity, our language, and our social structures. That opportunity came in 1730, when we formed an alliance with the Akiem and other smaller states who also suffered under Akwamu rule. Together, we rose up and fought a war of liberation. We defeated the Akwamu army and drove them from our lands, finally regaining our independence. After regaining our independence from the Akwamu, the Ga people began the process of rebuilding. We consolidated our towns along the coast, with Ga Mashi, comprising Ushertown and Jamestown, becoming the new heart of the Ga state. When the British began to consolidate their power on the Gold Coast in the 19th century, they recognized the strategic value of Accra. In 1877, they made a momentous decision. They moved their colonial capital from Cape Coast to Accra. The establishment of the colonial capital in Accra brought rapid changes. The city grew quickly, attracting people from all over the Gold Coast and beyond. Gia families owned the land upon which this new city was being built, and our leaders had to negotiate carefully with the colonial government. Ga individuals played a crucial role in the social and political life of the emerging nation. Many became educated clerks, lawyers, doctors, and civil servants, forming the backbone of the colonial administration. When Ghana finally achieved independence in 1957, Accra, the city built on Ga land, became the proud capital of the new nation. Today, the legacy of the Ga people is visible and alive everywhere in Accra, the bustling capital of Ghana. The names of the city's oldest and most vibrant neighborhoods, Osu, La, Teshinungwa, Jamestown, are the names of the original Ga towns. These communities remain the strongholds of Ga culture, where the language is spoken in the streets. Fishermen still mend their nets by the shore. The annual Homowo festival remains the city's most significant cultural event, drawing thousands of participants and spectators. Our food, too, has become a national treasure. Dishes like kenki, a fermented corn dough dumpling served with fried fish, ground pepper, and shido, originated from Ga kitchens, but are now enjoyed by Ghanaians everywhere. The Ga language itself has enriched the vocabulary of Ghana. Many words and phrases used daily across the country, especially in the popular dialect of Pidgin English, have Ga origins. The traditional chieftaincy system also continues to play a vital role in local governance and community development. Ga chiefs are key stakeholders in land administration, conflict resolution, and the preservation of cultural heritage, providing a crucial link between the past and the present. The story of the Gadangme people is, above all, a story of pride and an unbreakable spirit. It is a narrative that stretches from the ancient Near East to the vibrant shores of West Africa. Our history is not written in grand monuments of stone, but in the living memory of our elders, in the rhythm of our drums, and in the annual celebration of our victory over hunger. It is the spirit of King Okai Koi, who chose death over dishonor, that still inspires us. This spirit is also one of profound generosity. Having known hunger, we celebrate abundance by sharing. Having been strangers in many lands, we welcomed strangers to our shores. We shared our land to build the capital city of a new nation, becoming the hosts for all Ghanaians. Our story is far from over. As we look to the future, we carry the lessons of our past with us. We are working to ensure our language, our traditions, and our history are passed down to our children and grandchildren. The fishermen in Jamestown, the market women of Makola, the chiefs in their palaces, and the young Ga professionals in the city's high-rises all share this unbreakable spirit. We are the Ga Dangme, a people of pride, resilience, and an enduring legacy etched forever on the coast of Ghana.